Good morning. If you're like me and many other domainers, you have a large portfolio of domains. You look at it, you don't know where to start. You don't know what you should develop, what you should keep, what you should drop, and you don't even know where to start. And that seems to be one of the biggest dilemmas of most domainers. So I have a sheet with me that's got some information. And what I'm going to try to do in this video is tell you how you should organize your portfolio into names you're going to keep, names you're going to drop, and names you want, how to pick out names you want to develop, and also how to pick out names that based on parking revenue you want to keep, or other names that you may not have any revenue on, they may not have any traffic, but you've received offers on. So you're going to need a couple things for this. You're going to need as much data as possible. So grab a list of all the stats that you can find. If you have a year's worth of stats, that's going to be even more helpful. But if you have 6 months or 3 months or a month, we can extrapolate out. So grab that list of stats. That's one of the main things that you're going to need for this. And then what else you're going to need, and you're going to have to shut off the video and come back to it, is you're going to need a list and start keeping a spreadsheet of every name you get an offer on. It doesn't matter if it's a high offer, a low ball offer, a $50 offer, a $20 offer. As long as you got an offer on it, it means that somebody has an interest in owning your domain name. And just like a hooker, the only difference is you're negotiating on price. So let's get a list of those together. Go ahead and shut the video off now and then come back. Okay, I'll wait about 2 seconds for you to shut it off. And now we're back. So I'm going to read you this because it's been one of my greatest strategies, and it's something that I've been doing, which is, first of all, it's continually selling your domain names and upgrading the quality of your domain portfolios. So for example, for every 2 or 3 that I sell, I'll go out and I'll buy one good generic domain name, because that's what I call upgrading your portfolio without taking cash out of your pocket. So that's what you're going to attempt to do. So this has been a proven thing. So now my eyes are going to wander a little bit. I'm not looking at the girl next door in the cute little top that she's not wearing. I'm actually going to be reading a little bit. So how to manage your existing portfolio of domain names, what to keep, what to drop, and how to separate them is what this video is called. The best place to start is by learning how to manage what you already have. So make sure you have a list of all your domains in Excel. Now go back through that list in your emails that I've asked you to gather as far back as you can, and make a list of every domain you ever had an offer on, and then those domains, make those purple in the Excel spreadsheet, even if it's a low ball offer. The next thing you should do, and by the way, those are keepers, because even if they make no money, they're keepers because someone has an interest, a need, or a want for that domain name. So you definitely want to keep them. Then gather all your parking revenue, as we discussed, for the last 365 days if you can. If not, extrapolate out whatever you have for a year and highlight in green any that make more than their reg fee. These are also keepers. Go through the list a third time and again look for any domains you feel have development potential regardless of revenue. Mark those blue. Those are keepers. Those might be domains like, you like lighthouses, so lighthouses.ca. It may be a great domain. You may have like greenbins or bluebins.com or .ca, and we know everybody's into recycling. You may have something like what I've bought. I know that the next thing after Blu-ray is something called Violet Ray, and Violet Ray holds a hell of a lot more than Blu-rays, so I own like violetray.com, Violet Ray DVD, Violet Ray movie, things like that. So those I know will have potential down the road. They're not making any money now, but I certainly don't want to let those go until it's ready and time for me to do that, and for the right price. So let's go back to gathering all your parking revenue over the last 365 days. You've highlighted those in green of anything that makes their reg fee, so you keep those. Go through the list again and look for any domains you feel have development potential, regardless of revenue. Mark those blue. Those are keepers. A small hint here. When developing domain names, you don't want to take off necessarily your highest earning revenue domain names. You do want to take off the domains that you have the highest amount of traffic on that aren't earning any revenue. And then you probably want to go over to one of my sites like nichewebsites.com, pay $3.99, have us develop the site out for you. We do it with original content, we get everything done, and you don't have to do anything and the site's ready within 3 days. So again, go through the list again and look for any domains you feel have development potential regardless of revenue. Mark those in blue. Usually those are your high traffic domain names, but they do not have any revenue, or they've got very little revenue to speak of. They may not be making their reg fee. The worst thing you could do is take a high earning domain name, take it off a parking page where it's actually making a lot of revenue, and point it to something that's going to take it a month or two before it gets ranked, and it won't be making anything. Then go through the list a final time and look for any domains you feel just have a hunch are good, but have no development potential and earn no money at all. Mark those in red. Those may not be keepers. Those are going to be up to your discretion. So if they're not making any money, they have no traffic, and they have no development potential, you may keep them, you may not. You'll have to go through those ones in reds and make your own decisions on them. Maybe you want to basically take a look at them, get some appraisals, even though appraisals generally are garbage. But at least it'll give you an idea if there's any. Run them through the Google tool, the Google keyword tool, and check the exact search value. And decide if, based on that, if you want to keep them. But take a close look at what's left without a color and ask yourself why you're keeping them. If you don't know why, how should I know why? So definitely you want to take a look at those, and maybe it's time to drop the ones that aren't colored. Something domainers are afraid to do because for some reason they think that if they drop a domain name, well, it's going to sell later down the road for, I don't know, $100,000 or $200,000. Chances are that's not the case, so stop worrying about it. I know personally I've been thinning my portfolio for over a year. It takes a year to do that based on renewals, and based on renewals being spread out over a year. So make sure that you go through your portfolio with a fine-tooth comb, do these things, take a look at what's left that isn't with a color, and probably you are going to end up dropping a lot of them. If they don't make money, never had an offer, are not in the plans for development, they hold little value. Offer them up to people that have the .coms but don't renew them. So if you've got, like, I don't know, I just did one recently. I owned pinkslipliloans.com. Okay, I didn't make a lot of revenue, but there was a company called pinksliplone.com. So I called them up. I offered them the domain name. They offered me $2,500 for it. They purchased it, and away you go. So there's a lot of value in your domain portfolio. So you need to look at what you have the singular of and see who has a plural, or look who has a plural and see who has a singular. Look who has the domain name in other TLDs or CCTLDs, and email them, get a hold of them and say, look, I no longer have any use for this domain name. You may be interested in it, and hopefully they will be interested in building their business because it has to do with their business, and hopefully you'll make a sale. Again, we'll talk about how to sell local domains probably in the next video, and then we're going to talk about how to find buyers for your existing domains later on this week as well. We're going to start to get into some of the real meat of the domain industry, which to me is a lot of fun because that's where I know I can help you the most. Again, the money from the domains that you drop will be better spent on names that you can easily resell, and we'll discuss the best way to sell local domains very shortly. So, who should you get to know in this video? My suggestions to you are to get to know John Ferber. He's recently engaged. He runs domainholdings.com. His email address is john@domainholdings.com. He's one of the most level-headed, honest, decent, approachable fellows in the industry, and I strongly urge you to get to know John, Domain Holdings, and the rest of the people at Domain Holdings, because they can help you sell your high-end names if you have any, and he's just a good guy to get to know. No big ego, just like the rest of us. He's just here to sell domain names, and he's here to make money. And as most domainers know, you need to check your ego at the door because you can't pay bills with ego. So that's why I don't have one. And that's why I'm just here to give you videos that will hopefully help you and help you grow as domainers. I hope you got some value out of this one, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks a lot, and have a great day. Happy domaining.